Assembly of the printer. The printer can be set up in different configurations based on what type of connectivity and network environment that it's in. We can either set it up as a USB printer where we're connecting directly to a laptop, or we can use a Cat5 cable and connect it directly to a wired network on one of our switches. Or if we have a Red Cross WAP available, the printer itself will connect directly to a WAP. In our first example, we're going to just be using the USB cable. So we're going to set the Cat5 cables off to the side. And first step would just be to choose a location for the printer. In this case, we're going to use the table right here. And then on the back side of the printer is where the cables are going to connect. Spin that around. We'll start with the USB cable. Plugs in the lower right here. You'll notice above that is where the network cable is. If we were in a different environment, we would use that. And then we have our power cable. We're going to plug that into the lower right. Spin the printer around here. Now the USB cable is just going to plug into the laptop that we've chosen to set it up on. I'll plug that into the side of the laptop there. And then we're going to go ahead and power up the printer, plugging it into an available power strip or wall outlet. On the Dell printers, there is a power switch on the lower left-hand side when you're looking from the front. That needs to be in the on position for it to function. So the printer is turned on and is initiating its startup process. And once it's completed there, the printer is done with the physical setup, and then there's some additional steps that we will do on the laptop itself following the DTP. The Dell printer can also be set up in a network environment, and in this example we're going to use a wired network. So we've selected the location for our printer, in this case the table, and then we just need to plug a Cat5 cable and power onto the back side. Spin the printer around here. So on the back side here, above where we had done the USB setup, right above that is where the network cable is. So that's where our Cat5 cable is going to plug in. Going to plug Cat5 cable into the back of the printer. And then we'll run that to the nearest available switch. In this case, it's on the same table. And then we need to plug the printer in to the power outlet, which we'll do here. And we're going to spin the cable printer around. Don't forget about the power switch on the lower left side when you're looking at it from the front to make sure it's turned on. And then we just need to go to the nearest available switch with our Cat5 cable, plug it into the lowest available number. So in this case, it's 1. Plug that into the switch. Now the printer has finished its physical setup in a wired network environment, and then following the DTP, depending on what type of wired network that we're in, we'll initiate initial steps. The other network environment that the printer can be set up in is a wireless network. This can be accomplished only when we are using our red cross WAPs because the printer has already been pre-configured with the proper wireless connectivity to connect with this WAP. So if a WAP has already been set up at the location, all we need to do is just pick a location for the printer. Go ahead and plug the printer in from a power standpoint. And then let the printer go through its initial setup process. And once it's completed that, the printer is done with the physical setup. And then depending on what type of environment we're in, there's some additional steps on the workstations and or server that will need to be completed following the DTP. If the printer does not automatically connect to the wireless access point, meaning that this does not indicate that it's connected here, it may be necessary to check that the Wi-Fi is turned on the printer. On the Dells, you're going to press the menu button. Then you're going to press the tools. These are touch screens. Admin settings. Then network. And then Wi-Fi. You'll see that in this case the Wi-Fi is on. If it was turned off, you would press on and select the state that it needed to be in. So on, and click OK, and you may need to restart the printer for that new setting to take effect.